They're playing at a really high level. The windows are tight. They're putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. They're really good in the run game.
They take the ball away. They play good red zone defense. They play fast. They got a lot of good players.
Welcome to MetLife Stadium. The New York Jets take on their crosstown rivals, the New York Giants.
Here at MetLife Stadium following the Giants' 13-10 loss to the New York Jets, and in all my years of watching football, this might have been the worst game I have ever seen. Neither team could move the ball on offense at any point in the game. This was low scoring. We saw a punt on effectively every drive, and I'll have to walk you through it right now. The game actually got off to a relatively good start for the Giants. The Jets received the opening kickoff, and the Giants forced a fumble. It was Kayvon Thibodeau who sacked Zach Wilson, and Jihad Ward recovered the fumble. The Giants then had very good field position. They capitalized. They kicked a field goal. 3-0 G-men. Giants are in decent shape, right? Well, after that, they traded punts for a long time before the Jets finally got something going on offense. On their first play of a certain drive, Zach Wilson throws the ball to Brij Gautam, who takes it 50 yards to the house, 50 yards for a Jets touchdown. It's 7-3 Jets at that point. It's Jets, Jets here at MetLife Stadium. In the first half, the Giants lost quarterback Tyrod Taylor to a ribs injury. He was then taken to the hospital, and in stepped quarterback Tommy DeVito straight off of the practice squad. And DeVito looked uncomfortable, to say the least. He didn't throw the ball a whole lot. And in the second half, when he came in, they did have a good opening drive, but it really wasn't to do with the play of DeVito. It was due to the play of Saquon Barkley, who got the ball going in the ground game. The Giants finally marched all the way down into the red zone, and it was DeVito himself who actually scored the touchdown. After a fake handoff to Saquon Barkley, DeVito took it in. Touchdown Giants, it was 10-7. That score would hold for pretty much the remainder of the game. This is their opening possession of the second half. From there all the way towards basically the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter, this result stayed the same. So what changed? Well, the Giants were looking to put this game away. We were under 2 minutes. The Jets started using their timeouts. The Giants were in the red zone. Not even the red zone, but they were just about approaching the red zone. They were in field goal range, or so we thought. Graham Gano lines up for a 35-yard field goal, and he misses it, wide left. But at this point, there were 24 seconds left. The Jets had wasted all their timeouts, and so Zach Wilson was taking over from the Jets' own 25-yard line and had to drive the length of the field with no timeouts. And based on what we'd seen so far today, nothing would have told you that the Jets could get this done. But they did just that. Zach Wilson had two 29-yard passes to Garrett Wilson and Allen Lazard, and they were able to spike the ball with 1 second left before Greg the Leg Zuerlein lined up and hit a field goal to put this game into overtime. MetLife Stadium was shocked, and again, you can probably tell it was raining today. This is why the teams relied on the ground game, also because neither team can really throw the ball that well. But a game that was essentially over all of a sudden goes straight into overtime. The score, 10-10. Now, once we reached the overtime period, the Giants won the coin toss. They elected to receive, but they couldn't do anything. They had to punt. The Jets got the ball. They drove down. Courtesy of a pass interference call that gave them a lot of yards, it was a warranted call. And Greg the Leg lined up for another field goal. He hit that field goal, and the final score, 13-10. Again, as I mentioned earlier, some notes for the game. Tyrod Taylor went out with a ribs injury. Another injury to note was that of Darren Waller. Tight end Darren Waller of the New York Giants went out with a hamstring injury in the first half. The Giants losing two of their best playmakers, having to rely on Barkley a lot in the second half, and the Jets knew exactly what was coming. Beyond that, just a very frustrating loss for the Giants as they fall to 2-6 now. You look at this game, the Giants were essentially in the lead for the entire second half. You give the Jets the ball back with 24 seconds left and no timeouts, and they somehow drive the length of the field. Now, it all came down to that field goal decision. Brian Daboll was criticized because it was 4th and 1, right? And had they converted a first down, the game would have been over. But Daboll says, I want to be conservative. I want to kick the field goal. I trust my defense. And honestly, he has every right to trust his defense because his defense had held the Jets every single drive, except for that one fluke play where Brij Gautam took it 50 yards to the house. The Jets offense was moving the ball not at all. So I understand Brian Daboll trusting his defense. But in retrospect, they absolutely should have gone for it on 4th and 1 because of what the Jets did afterwards. But Brian Daboll was criticized in the press room, and this is how he responded to those claims.
Can you explain the decision there on the grand field goal, not going for it going into that?
Yeah, kick a field goal there, then they have 24 seconds with no timeouts, and they need a touchdown, so counted that. I'm making a field goal, and then they'd have 24 seconds with no timeouts, so I have to drive at the length, and our defense was playing really good all game, so that's why I made the decision.
The flip side is to say,
yeah, there's always a flip side. Yep, I understand what it is.
That the game it still doesn't end the game, right? You had a chance to. Why not take the opportunity there to end the game by getting the 1 yard?
Yeah, I mean, hindsight. I understand the question, completely legit question, but that's a decision that we made to try to kick a field goal at Graham, and our defense was, they were like 0 for 12 on 3rd down. They were playing really good, and that's a decision we made. It didn't work out.
Again, a very frustrating loss here for the Giants here at the Meadowlands. And for the Giants, they now go on the road. They have 3 straight games. They're going to go at the Raiders to begin their 3-game road trip. Then they'll go at Dallas and then at Washington before returning home to play the New England Patriots here at MetLife Stadium on Thanksgiving weekend. They'll play on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Final score 13-10. That was my score prediction on 1-on-1 yesterday. However, I had the Giants pulling out the W. It was the Jets. A disappointing loss for the Giants. If you're the Jets, I mean, not an amazing win, but a win is a win, and it's any given Sunday here in the NFL. Giants, again, will go on a 3-game road trip. I'll be back to cover them against the New England Patriots. From now until then, for WFUV Sports, I'm Brij Gautam.